Yo, welcome to another edition of the Ramble podcast. I'm your host, Corban. You can follow me on Twitter at Corban NBA, Corban NBA. You could also check me on Instagram as well. Check out Sports Ethos on Twitter at Sports Ethos, online sportsethos.com. Don't know how to spell it? I got you. SPORTSETHOS. Fantasy basketball is here, and so is the Sports Ethos Draft Guide. All the content you need to get ahead on your fantasy league is there, so definitely make sure to tune in on that, as well as, of course, the content that they have aside from that, including, work from yours truly. So again, one more time, sportsethos.com, on Twitter at sportsethos. Y'all, we are entering day 3 of NBA basketball. Crazy to think that. Waited so long. All season felt like forever this year. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 here we have all the games. So we're going to recap them, get you set up for tonight's action. And yeah, we're just kind of go from there. Excited to definitely rock it here with you. First solo episode here of the 2023-2024 season. And so we got to start on the 24th. That was Tuesday. That was opening night. Not official opening night. I tend to think that the League Pass opening night, where basically every other team -2 plays, I think that's like the official opening night. But we had 2 games on Tuesday the 24th. We already know from the last episode, Lakers versus Nuggets, which was ring night for the champs. Of course, you had the banner going up. The Lakers all off season, having to live in that sweep, reloading. Are they better? Are they able to play, match up with the Nuggets? We'll talk about that in a second. And then, of course, the Suns, going all in on their big 3 of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal, one of whom did not play that game. Meanwhile, the Warriors end up picking up one of the Suns' castaways in Chris Paul as they reload to try to go back and get another ring with an old vet timeline. Like, forget the whole 2 timeline stuff. They went all in on the old. So they matched up in a fun game. So we'll start with those 2, then go down the line with the rest of these games here. Start with the Lakers and Nuggets. Just going to let you know right now, this game had a total feel of a game 5 of last year's Western Conference Finals. Like, there wasn't a whole lot different there. To be fair, you had a new addition for the Lakers in Taurean Prince, who played quite well. He had 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting, 4 or 6 from 3. Anthony Davis looked good all in the first half, but he had 17 points, again, all in the first half, along with 8 rebounds and 4 assists, knocked down a 3. He looked good. And then LeBron did LeBron things. 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 10 of 16 shooting. Every time he went to the lane, he looked like he could not be stopped. Unfortunately, neither could Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic ended with, and I'm going to let you know this right now, the most casual triple-double I've seen in a long time. 29 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. Like, he didn't even shoot that great from the field. I mean, yes, he did, but not for his standards. Just 12 of 22 from the field. 3 of 5 from 3. But he could not be stopped. He was making AD look like AD wasn't a defender. And that was AD's arguably one of the best defenders in the league. Top 5 for certain. I'd say top 3, and he ain't 3. But that besides the point, it didn't really matter against Jokic. He might have just been any other player. And let me tell you, that didn't help when AD was out, because then it became any other player. And also, I think the Lakers, just in general, can't defend the Nuggets. Like, the Nuggets, they're on arrival for this Lakers team. I'm going to say this right now. I think the Nuggets are a measuring stick for this Lakers team. Because against Denver, the Lakers can either score consistently or defend consistently, but they can't do both. It's not something that you see happen. It didn't happen in this game either. The Nuggets went on a huge run in the first half, led by 14 the first quarter, rather. Lakers would come back. Nuggets would come back, and Lakers would try to come back and chip away. Nuggets come back again. Like I said, Nuggets fed off the emotion. They had an early 18-point lead. Ebb and flow all throughout the game. Lakers got within 3 points in the fourth quarter. But honestly, Nuggets controlled the whole game. Aside from Jokic's triple-double, Jamal Murray had 21 points, Contavious Caldwell-Pope scored 20, Aaron Gordon had 15, and Michael Porter had 12 points and 12 boards. Now, all of the Lakers started scoring double figures, but like I said, this wasn't a great Laker game. The shooting, for one thing, was not something that was really solid. If you look at the stats for the Lakers shooting-wise, I can go from 3 and let you know. Aside from Taurean Prince's 4-6, Taurean Prince went 4-6, D'Angelo Russell went 2 of 5, AD went 1 of 2, Austin Reeves 1 of 2, LeBron 1 of 4. Off the bench, Rui Hachimura, who had a horrible game, shot 0 of 3 from 3. He shot 3 of 10 overall. Christian Wood missed the only 3 he took. Cam Reddish went 1 of 2. Gabe Vincent missed all 4 threes. That's not going to do it. 10 of 29, 34%. Not against the Nuggets team that shot 41% from 3, 52% from the field, and 75% from the line. That's just not going to do it. And yeah, I think that's something the Lakers have to look at. Like, you, at this stage of his career, LeBron can guard Jokic for spots, but that's not even really a thing. It's AD. Like, AD first and foremost. I'm thinking about AD backups, right? LeBron out there, he can defend. You probably want him on Aaron Gordon, but then who's chasing Jamal Murray? Because D'Angelo Russell can't do that. He doesn't have the foot speed for it. Austin Reeves, but still not really. Taurean Prince was the man assigned to do that. But then when you do that, you have mismatches on the other side. Now who's guarding Michael Porter Jr.? Contavious Caldwell-Pope all of a sudden is going off. Like, the Lakers just have a problem defensively there. And then offensively, they just didn't get enough from their guys. They just didn't happen. Rui Hachimura, like I said, 15 minutes of -6. 10 shots, made 3. That's not great, Cam Reddish had some good moments. I thought he looked serviceable. But, he didn't give you a whole lot. 7 points, 4 rebounds. And that was really kind of, Gabe Vincent was your other major bench guy. And with 6 points and a rebound and 2 assists, 3-8 from the field, that's not going to cut it either. And then AD, the Lakers have to do something to get Anthony Davis more involved, because 17 points, like I said, in the first half really got going in that second quarter. And then all of a sudden, in the third and fourth quarters, 4 shots, missed 3 bunnies and a 3. And that was all, folks, to reference a famous Anthony Davis shirt. That's not going to do it. It just isn't. The Nuggets, man, they rolling. I thought their bench would be a problem, and to be fair, I mean, only Christian Brown and Reggie Jackson got more than 15 minutes off the bench. But Zeke Naji got some good time. Didn't do a whole lot there, but he did. Reggie Jackson looked good. 8, 3, and 1's not going to stand out, but he played well with Jokic. He shot the ball pretty decently. And Christian Brown did Christian Brown things, 5 points, 3 rebounds, had a nice block. Like, the Nuggets are rolling. They're the team to beat. They are the team that Western Conference unit should be measuring themselves against. And there really is no conversation about that at all. The Suns and Warriors was a fun matchup for sure. This was actually Kevin Durant's first game back in the Chase Center since 2019. Remember, he had 3 great seasons with the Warriors, 2 of them turning out in championships. This was really something different. I couldn't believe it's been that long, to be honest with you. I'm just not going to lie to you right now. But he came in, the Warriors had a brief tribute video for him, standing ovation, all the things he deserved. Durant later said it's always going to be recognized for the work you put in, so exciting to see people I hadn't seen in a while, some familiar faces. I feel like the fan base here got nothing but love and respect for me as an individual player and as a person. That's all I can ask for, end quote. Really good for him to say that. Like, really good for him to get the love from the fans. I mean, he did bring them rings, right? Or he did help them bring rings. But going to actual game, Suns got away with this 108-104, led by Devin Booker, who was electric. 32 points on, I might add, a pretty efficient 13 of 21 shooting. But what I liked even better was the 6 rebounds and 8 assists, including the go-ahead assist to Jusuf Nurkic to really put the game away in the closing seconds. It was a tight game. I liked it. Steph Curry scored 27 points for the Warriors, 7 straight early in the third to pull the Warriors within 3. Because the Warriors were kind of playing catch up for most of the game, but in that third quarter, the Warriors went to those third quarter Warriors that we've seen so often in the past. They opened the third on a 27-5 run, while the Suns went 2 for 14. But ultimately, the Suns, like I said, pulled this out, and it wasn't really behind the back of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant as much as it was just Devin Booker. Kevin Durant played, he shot a lot, but he did not have an efficient game. 7 of 22 from the field, only took 2 threes. 1 of 2 from there, and this is something I'm going to be looking at between Booker, Durant, and Beal. All 3 of them love the mid-range. All 3 of them can shoot the 3, but not all 3 of them regularly shoot the 3. And for Durant only to get 2 up, something I'm keeping an eye on. But Durant had 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. Josh Okogie played really well. 17 points, 5 boards, loved his activity, loved his defensive tenacity. 7-9, like I said, 7-9 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. Really good for him. Jusuf Nurkic played well, 14 points, 14 boards. Grayson Allen, I mean, he was there. He got some cardio in, 4 rebounds, didn't make a shot across the board. But the gravity of him being out there did help Devin Booker playing point guard. It did help Kevin Durant. It did help some of these other Suns players that, aren't used to having to navigate room for themselves or manufacture space for themselves on the offensive end. Off the bench, Yuta Watanabe, played decently, 2 of 4 from 3, 8 points. Eric Gordon did not play well offensively, in my opinion. 4 of 16 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3. You see he's going to be the main gun off the bench for the offense for the Suns. Just 10 points. But he hit a big 3 as well late in the game, and that was honestly enough for them. Nasir Little came in, 3 minutes, 3 points on a 3-pointer. How you like that? But for the Warriors, yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't a great game from three for this Warriors team. Just 10 of 43 from three. That's 23% if you weren't counting at home, y'all. Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins combined for 0 of 9 from three. And just 8 of 27 from the field. So not great either. Speaking of Paul, his shooting wasn't great, but he actually played decently in my opinion. He was able to get to the lane a little bit, looked a little spry, had a nice reverse layup and one, where he seemed to have sprained his hand or finger, but he had a nice and one layup around Yusuf Nurkic. I thought was cool late in the game. He finished with 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. Obviously, Curry, who was the main offensive engine for the Warriors, what's new? 27 points, 5 rebounds, just 1 assist up. Very interesting. And then Klay Thompson, 15 points on 18 shooting possessions, 3 of 11 from 3. Not a great game for him. Speaking of not a great game, Dario Saric, who I think will be he's been a great addition for the Warriors, and I think he will continue to be great, but just 7 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of 11 from the field, was horrible around 2. Yusuf Nurkic, the length of the Suns really bothered him around the basket. 1 of 3 from 3. Jonathan Kuminga, I thought played well. Definitely battled foul trouble, had 5 fouls, but 12 points, 6 rebounds. I thought was an athletic burst in the front court that the Warriors utilized pretty well and will benefit from. Another guy I was really big on, Moses Moody. 11 points in 18 minutes, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. I really hope he gets more time, especially at the expense of a guy like Corey Joseph, who came, played 4 minutes, and just ran around the court, didn't do anything. How you a minus 12 in 4 minutes, Corey? I'm just saying. That's what he was. And then Gary Payton, offensively, you know what he brings. Very little. But defensively, the activity, 1 point, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. That's the sort of game that Gary Payton brings. Anyway, I mean, aside from that, even with the Warriors shooting as bad as they did from the field, 35%, as bad as they did from 3, 23%, as uncharacteristically bad as they did from the line, 78%, they still had a chance to win this game, but they could not stop Devin Booker, and he's definitely grown his floor game immensely. He made several plays out the pick and roll. I love that you have, a good shooter playing on the weak side, and then you have Booker, who obviously can play off the pick and roll as a scorer or a passer, and then you have a dive man or a pop man in Nurkic or Durant. I think that works really well. So I thought that it was a really proven play, and the fact that Booker is able to make plays out of that consistently definitely brings hope with him playing well together with Durant and with Booker. Although, do have to say, when it comes to tonight's games, Booker is the only. Booker and Beal will not be playing in the Suns' next game tonight against the Lakers. That's just not going to be a thing. I just thought I would let you know right now. So, yeah, unfortunate there, but it is a deal. But yeah, let us get on to the rest of the games. And we're going to actually kind of breeze through the blowouts because honestly, like I said, we've got a lot of games to get through and they're blowouts. So, I'm going to start with the Pacers, who beat the Wizards 143 to 120. That was a game that was close in the first half, and then the Warriors said, the Pacers said, okay, that's enough. Like, shut them down. With the 39-point second quarter, 37-point third quarter. Now, for the record, the Pacers scored 30 points or more in every quarter, where the Wizards put 39 in the first quarter, and then it went down every quarter after that. Looking at the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, 20 points, 11 assists, 9 of 16 from the field, solid for him. You had 24 points from Bruce Brown, who made a career-high 6 threes. Came in, by the way, in some overalls with presumably not a whole lot else under that, which, whatever. I mean, do you, man, but, different. But then he comes out and knocks down 6 threes. I'm not going to say a whole lot. You know what I mean? Really good play for him. Tyrese Halliburton, like I said, with his points and assists, great, but he made some sweet dimes as well. Miles Turner, 11 points, 8 boards. Obi Toppin, 11 points, 4 rebounds, knocked down 2 threes. Benedict Mathurin, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 of 15 from the field. Definitely got the shots up. Off the bench, Jalen Smith played well, I thought. 13 points and 8 rebounds. I'm glad he's getting more run. He seems to be the primary backup for Miles Turner. 5 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. Really enjoyed that. Jarace Walker got some rookie minutes, didn't do a whole lot there, but that's fine. Aaron Nesmith, fresh off the fresh contract, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. And then Andrew Nembhard, he was him and Buddy Hield were the big players off the bench for the Pacers. Nembhard had 12 points, 10 assists, 6 of 9 from the field. That's right, 10 assists, plus for both of your point guards, both your starting and your bench point guard. Really, really solid play. While Buddy Hield had 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting and 4 of 7 from 3. For the Wizards, your high man was Kyle Kuzma at 25 points on 50% shooting, 9 of 18 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 rebounds, didn't get an assist, really wasn't looking to pass. And that's kind of a thing for the Wizards I'm a little bit worried about, although you had other guys kind of filling the gap a little bit, like Denny Avdija, who had 9 points, 4 of 8 from the field, knew where his bread was buttered, did not take a 3, but had 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Tyus Jones played solid as he usually does, 16 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 assists as well. And then Jordan Poole, divisive performance, 18 points, 5 assists. Looks okay when you look at just those two numbers. But as always with Jordan Poole, there is a little bit more there behind the numbers. 7 of 18 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. Ice cold, as the game continued to go on. Just not very solid there. Also, the rotations for the Wizards are kind of weird. Danilo Gallinari played 17 minutes as the backup 5, 16 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 6 6 from the free throw line. He did that because Daniel Gafford was plagued with foul trouble all game. Finished a minus 23, mustered up just 6 points and 5 boards. Didn't do a whole lot there. Corey Kispert off the bench had 11, 4 of 11 shooting. That was kind of it for your Wizards. Not a whole lot going on there. Magic walked all over the Rockets, 116 to 86. Just not even that close. Your leading scorer was off the bench. That was Cole Anthony, fresh off his new contract. He was a plus 17, 20 points, 8 rebounds for the little guy there. Big play there. You also had 19 points for Franz Wagner. You had 12 points for Paolo Banchero and 10 points for Markelle Fultz. To start the game, I'm not going to lie, something seemed like the Magic were like, hey, we have all these guards, let's play through them. And it seemed like a lot went through Markelle Fultz and Jalen Suggs. And not really sure exactly why in Jalen Suggs' case, who was 3 of 12 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, 4 rebounds, but then Markelle Fultz as well. But then as the game went on, it felt like, hey, we have 2 great all-world front court players in Banchero and Wagner. Let's go to them. In Wagner, excuse me. And both played decently well. I mean, Banchero didn't take a whole lot, just 3 of 6 from the field, 6 7 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 12 points for him. And then, of course, Wagner didn't shoot the ball so well, but definitely got the numbers up, right? Off the bench, Jonathan Isaac. Yep, that's not a typo. Jonathan Isaac had a nice dunk, made a good block on a Jalen Green jam that he had no business attempting to take. But Jonathan Isaac reminded him that he had no business attempting to take that because he went and blocked that just clean out. It's a nice play. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds there. Aside from him, Joe Ingles played 18 minutes, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Playing like the old man that he is. Gary Harris had 11 points on an efficient 5 of 8 shooting with 5 rebounds as well. For the Rockets, a lot of misses. Just 40% from the field, 35% from 3. Not bad, but 60% from the free throw line is not going to win a lot of games. I was really high and I'm still high on Jabari Smith Jr. I really thought he would be most improved player of the year this season. Did not come off to that start this first game. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of 9 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. Another guy who did not do super great, Jalen Green, 10 points on 10 shots, misses only 3, 1 rebound, didn't get a dime. Aside from that, Fred VanVleet, who in a 30-point loss was somehow just a minus 3, 14 points, 5 assists, 5 of 13 from the field. Alperen Sengun, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Played decently, watched some very good post-up moves, really good passes off of cut action from the Rockets that I enjoyed. Dylan Brooks, 14 points, and officially 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3, things you love to see, 4 rebounds and 2 assists as well. Off the bench, not a whole lot to write, just a bunch of ugly plus minuses, such as, he's a rookie, but Amen Thompson had a horrible game. Minus 34 overall, looked kind of shook to be honest with you. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, just nothing was going for him. Another young guy, don't expect a whole lot so early, but yikes, Cam Whitmore, minus 12, 0 points, 10 minutes, and not for lack of trying, 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, just 1 rebound for the young man. And that was really it for the bench. I'm not even going to lie to you. Jock Landale got some time, Jason Tate got some time, and Jeff Green got some time, but they didn't do anything with that time. A combined 11 points for all of them. So, not super great there. But hey, it's a young season. I do think though, and might be in the minority, but maybe some of these bad teams that looked intriguing, hey, they might be something different. Maybe they're just going to be bad teams. They're just going to be ugly bad games, and they might have some good games here and there. And that's not a bad thing. It's just an observation that I may be making for the first time and going, interesting. Another lopsided victory for one team was the Thunder's 124-104 shellacking over the Chicago Bulls. A beating so bad the Bulls immediately went to a players meeting after the game. I'm not playing with you, they immediately did. Thunder were just too much. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who could legitimately, and I think he will legitimately make some MVP noise this season. 31 points on 12 of 18 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, made all 5 of his free throws, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. The Bulls could not stop him. There was nobody there who could do anything for him. Like, he just got what he wanted. Josh Giddey, plus 19 at 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Jalen Williams, 16 points, 3 rebounds and 5 assists, knocked down 2 threes, 5-11 from the field, made all 4 of his free throws. And then Chet Holmgren, who had a nice little shake and bake jumper for his first points of the game. Later got crossed up pretty bad by Andre Drummond for the welcome in your NBA moment. But ultimately, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4-7 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. You like what you see from there. Lu Dort, solid as well. I mean, when you are on a team that gets a beating like that, your plus minus is going to look pretty great. But 8 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, 2 of 5 from 3. And then off the bench, Isaiah Joe had 14 points, 5 rebounds as well. You had 13 points from Cason Wallace, who has not missed a shot in his rookie season. Yeah, I know it's one game, but 13 points, 2 rebounds, 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. Ousmane Dieng played 9 points, 2 boards for him. Just an all-around balanced game for the Thunder. They could be interesting this season. Like, I thought they were going to be interesting this season, but, they could definitely be interesting this season. The Bulls, they'll be average, maybe. DeMar DeRozan had 20 points on 20 shots, 1 of 3 from 3. 3 being the big thing for the Bulls, which is probably a good thing because for years, everyone's been saying the Bulls need to take more threes. The Bulls need to take more threes. Well, the Bulls took 42 threes. They made 12, so not great, 28%, but they took more. I think everyone on the team that played, with one exception, I think it was Julian Phillips, took a 3. So, and Andre Drummond, of course, took a 3. Everyone else that played took one. But when you have guys like Patrick Williams, who started off the game aggressively, finished with 8 points and 4 assists and 3 rebounds, but he definitely faded late. He missed all 4 of his threes. Nikola Vucevic, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 spat off the bench with Coach Donovan, and he missed both of his threes. And then you had just 2 of 7 for Kobe White, just 2 of 9 for Zach LaVine. Not going to do a lot for you. Torrey Craig was nice. I think he had a solid game, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of 4 from 3, 4 of 6 from the field overall. But they just didn't have a lot of continuity. Offensively, they had nothing. They weren't making a lot of shots. It didn't look easy when they got into those shots. 41% from the field for them. Kind of denotes a little bit of trouble making the ball go into the basket, which is unfortunately the primary function of a basketball team to win the game. And that was something the Bulls did not do effectively, unfortunately. But yeah, I think this was just a good old fashioned take you out back beating. That's exactly what happened here. And we'll see what the Bulls players only meeting after game 1, I might reiterate, will do for Chicago moving forward. Yikes. The Pelicans put away the Grizzlies 111-104, led by a well-balanced game by Zion Williamson, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 of 17 shooting. Brandon Ingram chipped in with 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And there was 24 points from CJ McCollum, which is a nice little bounce back on opening night. 24 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists on 8 of 16 shooting, 6 of 11 from the great beyond. Off the bench, not a whole lot. Matt Ryan came in, knocked down 9 points on 3 threes. You had 6 points from Dyson Daniels along with 5 rebounds. And that was enough to outlast the Grizzlies, who did not get a lot from Jaren Jackson Jr., who despite playing 36 minutes only ended up with 8 points on 2 of 9 shooting, missed every one of his 5 threes, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. You did get 31 points from Desmond Bane, who came in and consistently made shots for Memphis. 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, made half of his threes, 4 or 5 from the free throw line. He put in work, for sure. And then 17 points from Marcus Smart along with 3 assists. Xavier Tillman also had 17 points along with 12 boards and 4 assists for him too. Just 1 of 5 from 3. But the fact that he's taking more threes, I think, is encouraging. And also the fact that he was able to spread the ball out a little bit more and do some distribution. He was second on the team in assists behind Bane for the game. Not bad at all. But ultimately, Grizzlies shot just 12-43 from 3. Luke Kennard went 0 for 5. Jake LaRavia 0 for 2. Marcus Smart 2 for 6. I already mentioned Jaren Jackson 0 for 5 and Xavier Tillman 1 for 5. That's not going to get it done. The Grizzlies didn't shoot a heck of a lot better, but they took 11 less threes, or not 11 less threes, yes. So they went 14 of 32, good for 43%. and that was enough to do it. Also, they finished shooting better from the field as well, making nearly 50% of their shots as opposed to the Grizzlies, who barely cleared 40% of their shots. So that was enough for Pelicans to get the W there. Really hope to see more from Zion moving forward as well. I mean, both of them played, I'd say, decent minutes. Herb Jones also, didn't even mention him. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, made 4-8 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. But I definitely think for, Zion's first game back in a while, good start for sure. Kings whooped all up and down the Jazz, beating them 130-114 in a game that wasn't, the final score wasn't as indicative to how the game ultimately went. Kings just went off. They just went off. It wasn't even that close. Harrison Barnes, 33 points on 11 of 16 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, made all 6 of his free throws, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. I really thought he was going to start challenging for his career high. He was on fire consistently, couldn't miss a shot in the first half, just was insane offensively for Sacramento. You had 18 points from De'Aaron Fox, whose shooting numbers didn't look great, but he did a good job as always moving the ball, getting into the teeth of the defense, making plays for others, including a heck of a pass to Malik Monk, who off the bench didn't have the greatest night, 10 points, 7 assists, only 4-12 shooting, 2 of 9 from 3, but he straight up obliterated Chris Dunn on a dunk. That was electric. I mean, it's literally the first game of the season, and it was such a vicious poster, it'll probably be up for one of the best dunks of the year. I'm calling that right now. It was so good. Domantas Sabonis, classic game for him, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 of 2 from 3, 8 of 14 from the field overall. Kevin Huerter did not have a great night, 7 points on 3 and 9 shooting, and I just want to point this out. Everybody on the Kings roster suited up. Everybody. Like, it was that kind of game. Sasha Venzikov had 8 points in 16 minutes, 2 threes knocked down as well. JaVale McGee had 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, made every shot he took. Davion Mitchell had an over, but he did have 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Already mentioned Malik Monk. Chris Duarte had 9 points, 2 rebounds and an assist, 3 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. For the Jazz, John Collins had 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists. Your leading scorer, of course, is Jordan Clarkson, as I imagine he will be for most of the season for Utah. He had 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, made half his shots, 8 of 16 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Taylor Horton-Tucker, he played 8 points and 4 assists for him. Larry Markin didn't have the most efficient game, 19 points on 16 shooting possessions, but he also had 10 boards as well. And then Walker Kessler, 8 points, 8 rebounds, only 1 block, surprising to see. Off the bench, not a whole lot going on there. Colin Sexton had 9 points on 9 shots, 0-2 from 3. Chris Dunn, minus 16. He was not great that game. 8 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Ochai Agbaji, only 5 points, 3 rebounds, but he had a heck of a thunderous slam in the game for the Jazz. And then Keontae George, he got some run as well. 19 minutes, he had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. The Jazz, listen, they are right up next to the team I'm about to talk about here next, where, listen, they have some encouraging players that I look forward to watching, but they're going to be a bad team. Like, that's just the long and short of it. It's just going to be what it's going to be. And what that is not super great. Going to the next team that is also not super great, that I'm intrigued by in general, is the Portland Trailblazers, who got walloped by the Clippers 123-111. Again, final score not as indicative as how the results were, but this was a blowout for the Clippers, and it was early. Clippers jumped out on top. Russell Westbrook, got to point him out. He had a heck of a game, a bunch of dunks early. He did a good job of getting into the lane, making beautiful passes. He had a nice kick out in the corner to Kawhi Leonard for a 3. He had a nice drop down pass. He is so good at those. To Ivica Zubac for a finish. He had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 13 assists, 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. Just an efficient floor game for him. He was a plus 30 to lead the Clippers. A plus 30. Just a really good game overall for him. He was not your leading scorer, though. That would be Paul George, who was very efficient from the field. 11 of 17, 4 of 7 from 3, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Played very well. I'm just happy to see him coming back and looking good. Kawhi Leonard also looked good. 23 points, 9 of 17 from the field, 5 of 5 from 3. I mean, Kawhi Leonard's a sneaky, efficient three-point shooter. And I don't even mean sneaky because everyone knows he's a good shooter, but you would be surprised looking at just how efficient he is from 3 consistently over the last, 3-4 years. Kawhi also had 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Ivica Zubac, like I mentioned, 20 points, 12 boards. Really good game for him. Off the bench, Bones Highland played well. 17 points, 3 assists, including one that was a beautiful no-look behind-the-back dime to Westbrook for a slam. Really enjoyed seeing that. Norman Powell had 8 points in 23 minutes. Mason Plumlee played 6 points, 8 boards in 18 minutes. Kenyon Martin didn't do a whole lot with his time. Actually, he didn't play well at all. 0 for 4, 1 rebound, 1 assist, minus 17. But you really hope to see more. And the fact that Ty Lue is playing him more in some small ball kind of lineups at the 4, at the 5, that sort of area, I do like the potential there with, a guy like a Paul George and a Kawhi Leonard, guys who are bigger themselves in their own right, and strong. So I do feel it kind of in certain matchups will cover up for Kenyon Martin's lack of height, him being just 6'6", but he didn't have a good game this time. So we'll have to see kind of what happens moving forward with him. It's game 1. It's not like it's a big deal, but at the same time, I definitely want to see more from him if Ty Lue's going to give him the minutes. And I really feel Kenyon Martin on a good team has a chance to really be an impact player. For the Blazers, not a whole lot to talk about. Malcolm Brogdon off the bench, 23 minutes, 20 points. He had 5 assists as well. Efficient, one of the few. 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. Speaking of efficient, another player who was Robert Williams. 10 points, 7 boards, 5 of 7 from the field. Really good for him. Scoot Henderson, listen, he played and he ended up with 11 points, but most of that came in the second half. He kind of seemed rattled. A lot of turnovers. He had 4 assists to 4 turnovers. So the ratio, they're not super great. 5 of 11 from the field, missed every one of the 3 threes that he took. Just didn't really make impact on the game. And he's a rookie point guard. Thrust in, played a team-high 36 minutes. It's going to take time. But this wasn't super great. One guy who I was more concerned about that I thought was going to have a big step up, even while the team would be bad, did not have a resounding show of support with his play. And this one was DeAndre Ayton. 23 minutes, just 4 shooting possessions, 4 points. He did have 12 boards, 3 steals, and a block, and that's great. But I definitely want to see more of him on the offensive end. He, of all 5 starters, was dead last in terms of shots taken. Even Matisse Thybulle took more, and he was 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 8 points. Now, part of that could be Ayton battle foul trouble. He had 5 fouls, and, because of that, only played 23 minutes. But like I said, Matisse Thybulle took more shots, made more shots, and played less minutes than Ayton. So, no, I'm not giving Ayton a pass on that. Jeremy Grant didn't have a great game. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 12 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. Do better start playing better so he can be on a new team by the trade deadline. And Anthony Simons, 18 points, 4 assists, 6 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. Off the bench, not a whole lot there. Chris Murray barely got any time. I was hoping that he would. Already mentioned Brogdon and Williams. Shaedon Sharpe, he was actually a plus 10, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists on 6 of 14 from the field, only 1 of 6 from 3. But listen, this Blazers team, they didn't crack 30 points in a quarter until the very last quarter, which is what made the game a little more respectable looking. They had mustered just 20 points in the first and just didn't seem to find consistent scoring. Just 31% from 3. There's a few guys on this team that I am interested in watching moving forward. DeAndre Ayton, of course. I want to see how he is establishing himself in a new team. And Anthony Simons, I want to see him stepping up now as he assumes a bigger offensive responsibility. Scoot Henderson, want to see what he does, obviously, rookie year. Shaedon Sharpe, same thing. There's a few people on this team that I'm looking forward to. Chris Murray. But, as a unit, no. I think there's going to be a lot of ugly basketball for the Blazers. And it's unfortunate, but we'll be here. It's part of the game, right? Raptors held on against the Timberwolves 97-94. Just a well-balanced game from Scotty Barnes, who really stuffed the stat sheet. Barnes finished with 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks, 2 steals. Didn't have the most efficient shooting night, but still was able to impact the game in a variety of facets. And as you can see, he had an and one. He was able to make an impact as a rim protector. Really enjoyed his defensive tenacity and versatility on that end. Dennis Schroeder played well. Your leading scorer for the Raptors, 22 points and 7 assists, 8 of 17 from the field, knocked down 4 threes as well. OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam also combined for 35 points, 13 rebounds rather, and 7 assists, and shot a combined 7 of 14 from 3. So really good from there. Both of them struggled from 2. Well, not both of them, really just Pascal Siakam. He was just 5 of 17 from 2, but being 3 of 5 from 3 helped out a little as well with those 7 rebounds and 6 assists, where OG helped more on the boards than, with passing the rock. He had 6 rebounds to only 1 assist, but still played well. Jakob Poeltl, 7 points, 11 boards, only played 24 minutes, but some of that was just due to the pace of the game. I know late in the second half, he was waiting for about 3 minutes to get in the game, but there was no stoppages in play. No turnovers, no fouls. It was just like a back and forth, or no out of bounds turnovers rather. Dead ball turnovers rather. So, like, I think Jakob Poeltl would have definitely gotten more time. As it was, he basically split his minutes evenly with Precious Achiuwa, who off the bench had 8 points and 8 rebounds. Gary Trent Jr., 27 points, 27 minutes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. I was like, I don't remember him scoring that much at all. And then Jalen McDaniels, it wasn't a Jalen McDaniels versus Jaden McDaniels matchup because Jaden McDaniels had strained his calf in the preseason. But, you know, Jalen scored about the same as Jaden did anyway. Although I will say Jalen gave you 2 rebounds and 2 assists. So there you go. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards was the leader in terms of offense consistently for the Wolves, but I feel like he just got tired as the game went on. He was red hot to start the game, definitely cooled down to stretch. He had 26 points, 14 rebounds, troublingly so only 1 assist. Didn't really like to see that. On 8 of 27 from the field, which was horrible, 4 of 7 from 3, which was a lot better, and they made all 6 of his free throws, right? 19 points for Karl-Anthony Towns along with 10 boards, 15 points for Rudy Gobert along with 13 boards. Mike Conley played 31 minutes and 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. I didn't really feel like he had and not that Mike Conley's the kind of guy to really put his stamp on the game and take control like that, but I definitely felt like he could have exerted a little more in terms of getting the ball involved. And, you know, they played a lot more through Anthony Edwards, but I definitely feel like Mike Conley could have been a little bit more than a floor spacer, of which he didn't really do that great of a job, only 1 of 4 from 3. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, probably wish he hadn't played this game. 23 minutes, a minus 17, and yeah, it looked about as bad as the plus-minus showed. 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists for him. Off the bench, Kyle Anderson, 7 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, but did not shoot the ball well. 3 and 9 from the field, missed the only 3 he took, and it reminded me just how long it takes for him to load up on his 3-point shot. Like, slow-mo, and usually actually efficient despite the slowness of his shot, but no, that was not the case on that shot. I was like, whoa, okay. I mean, he had the time. They gave him the room, but woo-wee. Naz Reid, 10 points, 4 boards in 24 minutes, and then Shake Milton, 21 minutes, 4 points. Like, it was definitely a tight rotation that was ran by the Wolves, with only 4 guys off the bench getting run. So, interesting, but the Raptors were able to hold out to win. Definitely want to see how the Wolves continue to move forward. I liked that Towns got almost as many shots as Edwards. I really think getting Towns the ball and asserting himself more will be big. He wasn't efficient this game, but there's hope, right? And then Rudy Gobert, I thought, had a solid game as well, although there was an ill-advised post-up late in the game that he wanted, that Towns tried to give him, that Towns tried to feed him on the turn to a turnover and a Raptors score to put the Raptors ahead for good. I didn't like that play at all. Like, Rudy Gobert, you're not that guy. Stick to your strengths. But still, that was solid for him. So, happy to see that. The Celtics beat the Knicks in a fun game for Kristaps Porzingis, who was just on one all game for Boston, especially in the first quarter, but he made his impact throughout. He finished with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks, 8 of 15 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3. Really played like the unicorn moniker that he earned early in his career. Jason Tatum had 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists, while Derek White contributed with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Wasn't a great game for Jrue Holiday. Just 9 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. And honestly, he didn't have to shoot that much. I thought the Boston had enough balance among, of course, Porzingis and Tatum, and then Brown, of course, took shots as well that he didn't need to. So he could have been a little bit more efficient, but hey, you know, he still played decently well. One guy who did not, in my opinion, was Jaylen Brown. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a pretty big turnover late in the game. 4 of 11 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. I saw the Twitter text like, he hasn't improved anything, or, you know, he still can't dribble his left hand. And that last part might be true. But, like, I just feel it wasn't a great game for him. I'm not using that as, like, a denouncement of his entire offseason regimen and preseason routine and everything, but, like, it didn't look super great. Besides, though, I mean, even with Boston, with his numbers being as bad as they were on a statistical standpoint, like, he played with a lot of starters. They did make impactful gains throughout the game, and he finished a +8. So the plus minus isn't always obviously indicative of, like, great play, but Brown was on lineups that succeeded for Boston throughout this game. Also, the bench for Boston just kind of sucked. Only 4 guys played. Sam Hauser, Al Horford, Luke Cornett, and Peyton Pritchard, all combined for 12 points. So 4 people, 12 points, and really just 2 of them scored. So that should tell you a little bit more from there. Hauser contributed 2 rebounds, and that was that for him. Horford gave you 8 points and 7 rebounds, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, and that was it for him. That was actually pretty good. Luke Cornett came, he saw, he grabbed a board. 2 assists. That's it. And then Peyton Pritchard, fresh off the new contract, did not play like one. That has one. He had 4 points, a rebound, and assist, 1 of 4 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3. Only 11 minutes, though. It was definitely, like I said, a tight rotation for Coach Joe Mazzulla. As for the Knicks, I mean, they shot better from 3. 18 of 41. They definitely got them up, but that was because they were just abysmal. Anything from anywhere else. They were 14 of 26 from the free throw line. If they had cashed in a few more of those free throws, they probably would have won the game. They also were abysmal from 2. They could not shoot a 2-point shot to save their lives. 36 of 97, that's 37%, folks. I am not good at math, but I know that's not great. Julius Randle, 5 of 22. Jalen Brunson, 6 of 21. RJ Barrett, 8 of 20. Like, these are all below 50%. Right? Dante DiVincenzo, 0 of 4. Mitchell Robinson, 1 of 4. And then you had some better shooting. Isaiah Hartenstein, 3 of 4. Quentin Grimes, 4 of 7. Emmanuel Quickley, 7 of 11. And then Quickley was also 5 of 7 from 3. Josh Hart, although he shot just 2 of 4 from the field, he shot 2 of 4 from 3. Quentin Grimes, 3 of 6. RJ Barrett, 2 of 5. And then 3 of 8 for both Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. So the threes helped them out. And that really got going in the second half. The second quarter on. As they realized, like, okay, hey, we're not going to be able to finish around the basket. Let's start bombing away. The leading scorer was RJ Barrett, which is good to see. I mean, at this point, RJ, I don't have hopes of him being like a number 1 guy. Even really a number 2 guy. I think he's going to be like more of an ancillary number 3 Andrew Wiggins type player. But if he can do more of that, 24, 3, and 2 actually is like Timberwolves Andrew Wiggins numbers, if you think about it. But fine, 8 of 20 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 6, 7 from the free throw line. Like, my hope in Barrett is definitely waned, but like, he can still be a productive player, and I would say he has been, just not worth the contract that maybe he's gotten, but like, productive. Really good to see there. Julius Randle, geez, though, like 14 points, 11 boards, and 7 assists, looks good. But 5 of 22, like, at what point do you go, hey, I'm just don't have it tonight? Obviously, it took Randle 22 shots to get there, and then the time ran out. So, there you go with that. Cavs beat the Nets 114-113. Nets had a chance to win at the very end, but Cam Thomas missed a tough shot. And mind you, it's hard to really blame Cam Thomas, who set a rookie record, or not a rookie record, NBA record, a Nets record for player off the bench in season debut, most points scored. 36 points. That was a stuttered line, wasn't it? Most points scored by a player in their season debut off the bench. 36 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 13 of 21 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. He is a bucket. We knows about Cam Thomas. The question is, what can he do outside of that? And, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, not a whole lot else. Like, obviously, he's just a scorer. And that's great, but it's going to limit his effectiveness in the game if he's not going to be able to do anything other than scoring. I think there definitely is a role for him there, but like, if he's trying to go for the minutes and the impact that he wants, it's not going to happen until he steps up and contributes in other facets of the game. And that didn't really happen for Brooklyn. But in this case, it didn't have to, because 36 points easily led the way for the Nets, who needed every one of those points. They had 20 points from Mikal Bridges, who had 6 rebounds and 4 assists as well, but only 12 shooting possessions, missed both of his threes, 8 and 9 from the field, so that's good. But like, as far as someone who's trying to be more of a high volume scorer, this wasn't a great step in the right direction. And other than that, you had 10 points from Dennis Smith Jr., 10 points from Dorian Finney-Smith, 12 points from Cam Johnson, and that was it for your double-digit scoring, folks. That was it. Nick Claxton had 7 points. Ben Simmons had 4 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. 4 points for Darren Sharp, 5 points for Royce O'Neal, and that was it for your scoring in general. So definitely wanted to see a little bit more there. And it wasn't like the Nets were terribly efficient, or it wasn't like they were terribly inefficient, rather. They shot 50% from the field. They only made 9 threes, 9 of 27. That's good for 33%, but they needed what Cam Thomas brought to the table. But yeah, it didn't matter, because Cleveland still were able to claw themselves to a victory. Donovan Mitchell hit the game ceiling shot off of a failed flop, or you could say a flopped flop by Cam Johnson. Mitchell had 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 11 to 21 from the field. He had 4 of 10 from 3, including the 1 to seal the deal. 27 points also came from Max Strus, who made himself a heck of an impression on Cavs fans. 27 points and 12 rebounds. 9 to 17 from the field, 7 of 13 from 3. Darius Garland had 15 points and 5 assists. Isaac Cole had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Evan Mobley, 10 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. Off the bench, Karis LeVert had 11 points in 31 minutes. Not for lack of trying. He shot 4 of 17 from the field. 4 points for Damian Jones, 2 points for Ty Jerome, and again, a short bench for the Cavs. Every starter for Cleveland logged over 32 minutes. And that was pretty much it, while Caris LeVert was the only guy off the bench who also logged near that amount. He had 31 himself. So he obviously being the super six man for the Cavs. George Niang, just not a whole lot there. 20 minutes, 0 points, 4 rebounds, 0-3 from 3. But yeah, Brooklyn, again, a team that defensively they're going to be good because I liked the way they play defense. I liked the fact that it was a close game. Offensively, though, I don't know what to say about that. Actually, I do know what to say. I don't think it's very good. But we will see kind of how they look and see who continues to stand out for Brooklyn. Does Mikal Bridges become that guy? My money's not on that, but it's possible. Does Cam Thomas show that, hey, I can do other things and be a guy who can get buckets? And maybe that earns me some more time in the eyes of Coach Jacques Vaughn to give me more minutes and make more of an impact on the floor on at least one end. Maybe that happens. But aside from that, I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie is a guy who kind of ebbs and flows offensively. I think Cam Johnson, I thought made steps in the right direction last season, but didn't look so good in my mind this preseason and up to now, so we'll see. I just want to see who else on Brooklyn is going to be your leading points guy, or is it going to be more of a by committee thing? Because that can happen. I could see 5 people averaging between 15 and 17 points a game. But I don't know. I just don't know if that's going to be conducive to a lot of wins for Brooklyn. But then again, I don't really have Brooklyn, I have them more in a play-in territory, so maybe it doesn't really matter. Last game to cover. Victor Wembanyama's debut. One big man, I'm telling you, came in, made an impact, really helped their team down the stretch, get the win, and it wasn't Wembanyama. Nope, that's right, it was Derek Lively. 16 points, 10 boards, a plus 20, a great pick and roll player to go alongside Luka Doncic. Constantly, being able to get passes and finish inside, clean up misses and put back slams, really make an impact on the end of the floor. Only one block, but I thought he did good as a defender as well in the interior. Really well done by him. Luka Doncic started kind of slow in my mind, didn't have the best shooting numbers, 13-25 from the field, 3-11 from 3, 4-7 from the free throw line, but messed around and got himself a triple-double, the second of the first 2 nights of NBA basketball. He had 33 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists. Remember, Nikola Jokic got the first triple-double of the first 2 NBA season days, if you will. Kyrie Irving did not shoot the ball well, 10 of 24, 1 of 8 from 3, but the 1 3 that he did make came late in the fourth to really help the Mavericks take the lead for good. Irving had 22 points and 6 assists. Grant Williams played well. Going to be so many open threes for Grant off of penetration from either Kyrie or Luka, and as long as Grant can sit down and cash those in, he's going to be well worth the contract he got and an impactful player for the Mavericks. He had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 of 8 from 3, 6 of 11 overall. Max Kleber had 6 points and 7 boards as well. Derrick Jones Jr. played, didn't do a whole lot with that time, literally. He got some cardio in. Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for him. Already mentioned Derek Lively, and then of course it was Josh Green who had 11 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, banked in a fun one that I saw, 2 rebounds and an assist. Aside from that, not a whole lot else going for the Mavericks. Short bench for them, just Exum, Green, Seth Curry, and Lively and Hardaway getting minutes, and honestly Exum and Curry got less than 10. So really a lot of that went to their starters, and Derek Lively, who really got the majority of the minutes over Derrick Jones Jr. One thing I do worry about with these Mavericks is if the passes aren't coming from either Luka Doncic or Kyrie Irving, or to a lesser extent Tim Hardaway Jr., where are you getting your ball handling passing from? Because the Mavericks finished with 24 assists, which isn't super great. 24 assists on 47 made shots, and Luka, Kyrie, and Hardaway combined for 20 of those assists. Luka and Kyrie combining for 16 of those. So, not a whole lot else aside from their ball movement-wise, and you don't really have those players. I mean, I guess you want Dante Exum to maybe assume more of that. Seth Curry kind of has that in him. He's really more of a shooting guard. Max Kleber's not kind of that guy. Grant Williams, Derrick Jones Jr. It's really going through your 2 primary ball handlers. But you want to have other guys. If those guys are off the floor, if they end up getting injured, I definitely wonder how this team looks, and I don't like what I'm thinking so far. Going to the Spurs, though, Wembanyama, listen, he struggled with foul trouble, struggled adjusting to the NBA game in terms of physicality from the defensive end, in my opinion, but he surged late. He made a bunch of clutch threes. He had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He had a block. 5 turnovers, which wasn't great. I already mentioned the 5 fouls, 3 of 5 from 3, 6 of 9 from the field. He played well. But the Spurs were definitely going more through their guards. Devin Vassell had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, was cooking from mid-range. 9 of 17 from the field, a little less so from 3, 1 of 6. And then Keldon Johnson also played well. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist short of his career high, 7 assists, 7 of 15 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. Jeremy Sohan, who played at the point, which, I mean, you have to kind of put it there, even though he's not a point, because you want to kind of get your best 5 players on the floor. He had 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Zach Collins played well. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 of 10 from the field. Would have looked even better if he hadn't taken a 3, because he missed every one of the 4 threes that he attempted. But he did, and it was a thing that happened. Off the bench, Chetty Osman, 12 points, 2 rebounds, or 12 points, 2 assists. Had a nice reverse layup, made a couple of good threes. And then Trey Jones, who is really your only point guard on this Spurs team, even though Jeremy Sohan is like your nominal point guard starting, Trey Jones pretty much split the minutes, 16 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. I like the fact that he took threes. He hasn't really been a consistent 3-point shooter in his career, but the fact that he also took them like when players are going under on picks and like off the dribble. Like he took those threes with confidence. I think is a great step in the right direction for Jones as he continues to improve. He's not his brother as a shooter, but if he can get even closer to that area, I think it'll be great. And this game was a first sign of that, in my opinion. 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists for Malachi Branham. And that was pretty much it for the Spurs, who could not even get a shot attempt in the last 2 minutes. Like, they went away from Wembanyama for reasons only they know. The Mavericks defense definitely tightened up, and the Spurs had a few more turnovers. For the record, the Spurs had 19 turnovers for the game. 33 assists, so still pretty good. Everyone who played for San Antonio got an assist, which is nice. But 19 turnovers, especially those late in the game, really came back to bite them. And Luka Doncic came up with a dagger 3, just coming up clutch to really put the Mavericks ahead for good. All right, y'all. So, games tonight rather. 76ers will be playing the Milwaukee Bucks. That'll be a game to look at for sure. That is the season debut for both teams. And then the Lakers, fresh off of a loss against the Nuggets, will play the Suns, fresh off of a win against the Warriors. Those will be the only 2 games for tonight, so that'll be a short but fun Thursday night to look forward to. But that is it for this edition of Roundball Ramble. Want to thank you again for rocking with me here. Really appreciate you all. Check me out on Twitter at Corban NBA, Corban NBA. Check out Sports Ethos on Twitter at Sports Ethos. Thank y'all so much. And for myself, I am Frosty. Y'all stay frosty, and I'll talk to y'all real soon. All right, y'all.